Hello students, welcome to HPGS Digital Tutorial System. Here we are going to discuss the February topic of Prep 3, Active and Passive. In slide number 1, you can see some discussions of active and passive. What is voice? Voice is the characteristics of verbs which indicate the relation of the verb's action to its subject. The voice of a verb may be either active or passive. What is an active voice? The active voice is the normal voice. This is the voice that we use most of the time. Active voice is used when the subject performs the action, the object receives the action of the verb. You can see the examples on your slide. The head of the department provided copies. Provided is an active verb because it allows subject to undertake an action. Example number 2. Mike ate the pancakes. Ate is an active verb because it also allows the subject to undertake an action. After active voice, a question comes in our mind that what is actually a passive voice too? In passive voice, the subject receives the action of the verb. A by phrase indicates the doer of the action. Examples: copies were provided by the head of the department. You can see the word were provided is considered passive because it indicates that the subject copies is receiving an action. The pizza was taken by Mike. Now, the particular words was eaten is considered passive because it indicates that the subject pizza is receiving an action. Now, we are stepping on how to convert active into passive voice. Move the active sentence direct object into sentence subject slot. Active voice: the head of the department provided copies. Passive voice: copies. Now look here, the sentence, the head of the department provided copies. While making and while changing into passive voice, remember that your object will behave as a subject and your subject will become as the object of your new sentence. It will be like copies will be your new subject and the head of the department will be your new object. Turn the subject of the sentence in active voice to the object of the by phrase. As discussed earlier, that your object and subject will convert it with each other. So you can see that in active voice, the head of the department is your new subject, and in passive voice, by the head of department is your new object. An object of the proposition does all these actions. Now, let's elaborate it more. Take note of the tense form. If the verb form is in simple past form, the be verb must show the same tense. Active voice: the head of the department provided copies. This sentence has been taken from the tense past simple. You can see that there is second form which indicates that this is past simple tense. While changing it into the passive voice, bring your object as your subject and write your subject as your object. Copies were provided by the head of the department. With our second form of the verb, what we have added? We have added were. You can also add was with that, but because the subject we have is plural, this is why we have written were with the subject. Transferring sentences from active voice into passive voice. Now here is the complete explanation, and you can see it that we are going through the help of a chart and an organizer which is showing the each tense particularly. The tenses we have is present simple, present continuous, past simple, past continuous, present perfect, past perfect, and future simple. In active voices, it's not a big deal. You can see that these are the basic structures of the tenses. There will be no change in the active voice. In present simple, we use first form. In present continuous, we use is MR with gerund form. In past simple, we use second form of the verb. And in past continuous, once again, was were with ing form. Present perfect, you know that in all perfect tenses we use third form of the verb. But the helping verb of present perfect is has have. In past perfect, it's had. Future simple, you know that we use will with first form of the verb. So these are all the active structures of the tenses. Now, if we are going to change it into passive voice, the one thing is that we will change first form of the verb by is in present simple. We will change is MR ing form with is being. We will change second form with was in past simple. We will change was ing form with was being in past continuous. In present perfect, you can see that the helping verb will remain same, but one additional thing will be been. In past perfect, it's same. Had will remain same with been. In future simple, will come as it is, but one thing will be additional and that is be. Let's take example of present simple tense active sentence. I make a cake. First of all, change your subject into object and your object into subject. A cake will come in the beginning of the sentence. A cake. Now you have to write any of the action verb from any of the helping verb from is, am and are. A cake is a singular subject. This is why we have chosen is as helping verb. A cake is. Now remember that in all the passive voices of all the tenses we will always use third form of the verb. There is no inquiry about asking action verb in the particular tenses. Remember this thing that in all the tenses we are going to use third form of the verb. So a cake is made. Now you have to write by before your new object. A cake is made by me. I have added object as me. When I converted I into the object, it is reacting like me. Active and passive voice, practice task 1. Change the following sentences into passive voice. In this particular practice task, the tenses which has been given to you guys are present simple tense, present continuous tense and present perfect tense. In present simple tense, you know that whenever the first form will come in active sentence, you are going to change it as is, am, are. If it's present continuous, means is, am, are with ing form, so you are going to change it into is, am, are with being. And if it is present perfect, that means has, have with third form. So you will change it into has been. And as I said and I have told you guys that in all the passive tenses, in all the passive sentences, we will always use third form of the verb. So let's discuss the sentences one by one. Number 1, he helps us. First of all, analyze that active sentence is of which tense. He helps us is present simple tense. So we are going to change it into is, am, are. We are helped by him. Did you see that we have converted our subjects into object and object into subject? Us as we and he as him. Don't forget to write by before your new object. Parents bring up children. Children are brought by the parents. Because it is present simple, so we have written is, am, are with third form and the conversion of subject and object. She is resigning her job. It is present continuous tense, so we have written with is, am, are being. Her job is being resigned by her. Is she objecting him? Once again, it is present continuous tense. Is he being objected by her? We have added being with is, am, are and we have changed our subject and object. We are not leaving the city. Once again, it is present continuous tense. This city is not being left by us. Is, am, are with being will come in your passive voice. You negotiate them. It is the first form of the verb. It is present simple tense. So you are going to add is, am, are only without being. They are negotiated by you. The cat has drunk the milk. It is present perfect tense. You are not going to change the helping verb, but you are going to add been with your helping verb of perfect tense. The milk has been drunk by the cat. Your subject and object has been changed and you have added been with your has have. I have cooked dinner, present perfect tense. The passive voice is dinner has been cooked by me. Our team has won the championship, present perfect tense. Now add been with it. The championship has been won by our team. I have known her for a long time. She has been known to me for a very long time. Don't forget to convert your subject into object and object into subject. Don't forget to write third forms of the verbs. And also remember the conversions of helping verb or the additional words what we are adding into your helping verbs. Now we have the last slide and the last practice task, active and passive voice. Practice task 2. Change the following sentences into passive voice. In this practice task, you can see that there are only sentences of past simple tense. What is the structure of past simple tense? In past simple tense, we use second form of the verb. You can see the number 1 sentence, she flew a kite, because it is second form of the verb. So it means it is past simple tense. Now let's change it into the passive voice. First of all, our object will come as subject, a kite. If it is second form in the active voice, don't forget to add was were with the third form in your passive voice. A kite was, flew has been changed into the third form flown, and then add by and write your object when it was a subject in your active sentence, she as her. So your complete passive voice is a kite was flown by her. Number 2, I did not appreciate her. If it is a negative active, don't forget to make a negative passive. I did not appreciate her. She was not appreciated by me. Number 3, you can see that in this particular tense we have covered all 3 types of sentences. Number 1, a simple sentence. Number 2, negative. And the third one given here is the interrogative sentence of past simple tense. Did Sabah refuse him? And now, what have we done? Was he refused by Sabah? The conversion of subject and object will remain same. Third form will remain same. One thing will be changed, and that is the helping verb. If it is past simple, if it is second form, go for the was were. For clearing the concept more, we have some more sentences which is covering past tenses, past simple, past continuous, and past perfect. Number 4, they understood us. We were understood by them, because it is second form in past simple. So don't forget to use was were with third form while making passive voices, and you know how to convert your subject and objects. Number 5, you were nominating me. You were nominating me. It is the affirmative of present past continuous tense. And once again, me has been written as I. I was being nominated by you. Was were will be changed into was were being. Was were will remain same, but one thing will be additional, and that is being. I was discouraging them. They were being discouraged by me. Once again, you have seen that was were is still same, but we have added being with that. And also you will go to the action verb. If your subject is singular, use was, and if your subject is plural, which will be your new subject, you will use were with that. And the conversion is still same. Were you examining the patients? Were the patients being examined by you? Was were, additional thing is being, third form is compulsory, and your conversion of subject and object. I had worn the blue shoes. Here we have started past perfect tense. In past perfect tense, Had will remain same, but one thing will be added, and that is been. I had worn blue shoes. Blue shoes had been worn by me. I had not closed the window. The window had not been closed by me. Had he recorded the song? Had that song been recorded by him? Remember once again, in your past tenses, if it is past simple, which will come into second form, while changing it into the passive voice, you will use was were. If it is past continuous, that means is MR with ing form. While making passive voice, you will use was were with being. And if it is past perfect tense, that means had with third form. So while making its passive, you will add had and been. If it is negative, make negative passive. If it's interrogative active, make interrogative passive. Practice task number 3. Rewrite the following passives into active voice. Now, in an earlier practice task, we have discussed how to convert active into passive, but here we are going to discuss that how will we convert our passive voices into active voice. If you will be given some passive sentences, so how will you change them into active voice? Number 1. Thieves has been arrested by the police. First of all, you have to analyze whether the sentence is active or passive, and this particular sentence is passive voice. While changing it into the active voice, once again you have to convert your subject into object and object into subject. Like the police, which is object of your passive, will come as subject of your active, and the subject, what is the thieves, it will come as the object in your active sentence. Now you have done with the conversions. Now the question is how you will change your helping verb. As I have told you that while making your passive voice, you have to add been or being. So here you can see the been and you have to remove that. The police has. You have removed been. Now only one thing is needed, and that is arrested. So it has come as the basic structure of present perfect tense. The police has arrested the thieves. There is no been, there is no by, and we have changed it into the real active sentence. Number 2, the car has been fixed by the mechanic. Once again, the same criteria, you will convert your subject and objects, you will remove been, you will remove by, and your helping verb has will come with your third form. The mechanic has fixed the car. A marvelous performance delivered by the children enthralled us. Once again, you have to convert your objects and subjects, you have to remove your by and been, and your helping verb with third form will remain same. We were enthralled by the marvelous performance delivered by the children. Number 3. The poem was beautifully recited by the girl. Again, convert your objects and subjects, remove by, and write your sentence. But this particular sentence is not past perfect tense. This sentence is past simple. So while you will make active of it, you will see that this is the active structure of past simple tense. The girl recited the poem beautifully. Here you have removed was and by, and when we have removed everything and when we have converted the remaining sentence, we have seen the active structure has come as past simple tense. The last one has been taken from present continuous tense. The walls are being painted by them. Convert your subject and object, remove by, remove being, and then write your helping verb, same with action verb. Because it is the continuous tense, so don't forget to write gerund form with it. While you will make the active of it, so your active will be like, they are painting the walls. Now we have covered enough explanation of active voice and passive voice as well. Now copy all the work in your copies from your PowerPoint presentations. Try to complete all your work. Good luck. Stay safe, everyone.